So that's an excerpt from one of my solo drum compositions, Riobuggin. It's based off the rich and beautiful colourful sounds of South America, and I incorporate different blocks and cowbells and tambourines and different tom sounds as well. What I'm going to do today is break it up so you can hear what I'm doing with each independent limb and all of the rhythms that are going in there to make the piece. So let's start by looking at the right hand. The right hand plays a pretty traditional samba sort of rhythm, and I move that between three different blocks. I've got a low, medium and high one, so I can create a really nice melodic motive out of that. Let's jump over the kit and see how that's going to sound. Now let's have a look at the left hand rhythm and part. Its rhythm is a dun 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 dun, and it moves between three toms, a high, medium and low, and so it's in constant motion, always moving from high down to low, back to high throughout its part. So let's go and have a little bit of a listen to the left hand. Now what we're going to do is look at putting the hands together. When I do this, I'll often get one down and then just add one note at a time of the other limb. It's mainly due to the motion of the limbs, which makes it tricky. Just to play the two rhythms by themselves, it's not that bad, especially these two because they're very similar, but it's when we have this contrary motion between the limbs and where we're moving the right and the left that it can get a little bit tricky in there, but it's well worth it. So let's jump over to the kit and have a listen to how both the right and left hands are going to sound. Awesome, so once we get the hands sorted, we can then move on to the feet. First, we will look at the right foot. And because this particular part of my kit is set up like a left-handed kit, it's backwards with the way the toms go down and also the pedals. So my right foot is actually playing the percussion side. And when we get over to the left foot, that'll be playing the bass drum. So the right foot actually has two rhythms within it. The first one plays on, I call it the bell tam. It's like two little 6-inch zill bells with a tambourine jingle on it as well. And I play that together and its rhythm is simply a Now that we know the first right foot rhythm, we can start looking at the second one. Now the second one's really cool. It's like a samba foot ostinato, but in half time. Instead of say doing a doom ba doom ba doom ba doom, it goes doom 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 doom, and that's going to be the right foot second rhythm, and it's going to play that on a cowbell. So let's have a listen and look at the music for how that's going to sound. Cool, so now what we get to do is put both of those rhythms together on the right foot. And it works out pretty well because the second rhythm is contained within the first. So I'm not having to jump halfway through a rhythm. And one technique I do use is what I call swiping, where I'll be playing on the one pedal and then I'll move my foot over and bridge it between two other pedals. In this case, it'll be between the zill bell and the cowbell. And then I move back and forth between that in order to get the rhythms that I want. And the tricky part with this is when you're doing it, because it's one thing to learn the rhythm, but then I'm having to move halfway through that rhythm to make sure I get the secondary rhythm as well. It takes a little bit of time, but it's well worth it because it's something that can really generate an excellent ensemble sound for your foot ostinatos. So let's have a look at both of those right foot rhythms when you put them together. Awesome, we're almost there. We're on to the last rhythm and last limb. And this is simply played with the left foot and it's only on the bass drum, so no movement. Left foot's got it easy. It just has to play that doom, ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. And that's its job. So let's have a quick listen to that and see how it sounds. Now, when we are layering them all together, there is one extra rhythm that I'm going to add in, and this was using a whistle. So we're adding almost like a fifth limb in there, which is awesome because, you know, whenever I've, you know, been fortunate enough to play with Brazilian ensembles, that often the leader will have a whistle or something, they use it for cues. And so I was really wanting to incorporate that within this groove. And the rhythm it plays, it comes back on the 2 and the 4, like a and there's 3 short ones and then 1 long one. So it's not just the rhythm, I've also got durations, because the whistle, you can play really short notes or you can play really long ones as well. And it's on the back beats also, so it doesn't play on beat 1. So let's have a listen to that, how it sounds, and look at the music for it as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome, so that's all you have to do. You just have to learn those rhythms, layer them up on top of each other, get a big monster kit, and then play them. That's all you have to do. It's a lot of fun putting it together. I really love composing this sort of music and, you know, using this instrument that I've got. It's like a mini orchestra, putting it together, and, you know, I'm not doing just straight drum beats, I'm doing songs because it's just me on stage doing this. I'll have a link in the description of this video so that you can download a free PDF of all the parts and the music that I went through today, so that you can check it out and make it easy to learn yourself.